Okay, so we are ready to start. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon in Europe, in Asia, maybe good night. We are very happy to have you here. I'm Henry Cáceres from the Ecuadorian Red Cross. Now, I'm one of the responsibles with Tatiana Campoverde of the implementation of CIFI, the innovation system of our national society. We are very excited to be able to share this space with you, and we are more excited to tell you that this space is not only organized by the Ecuadorian Red Cross, but also the Salesian Polytechnic University, which is our main academic partner. So, Paola, Paula, thank you for being here. I don't know if you want to say something before we start.
Thank you very much, Alejandro. Also, good morning and good afternoon with everyone. It is a pleasure to be here with you and share our experience on reverse innovation. Currently, I am the Director of Entrepreneurship and Innovation Department at Salesian Polytechnical University, and it's a pleasure to be here again.
Great. Thank you, Paola. So we can start. As Paola said, we are going to talk about reverse innovation. So we are going to share with you some ideas, some basic ideas about reverse innovation, a little bit about our experience and how this reverse innovation process put us together in this exciting journey that we have started with the Salesian Polytechnic University. So maybe, Paul, can you change the Okay, so we are going to start telling you about something very short about the the innovation system in the Ecuadorian Red Cross. We want to share with you this experience because this was the kickstart of the innovation system inside the Ecuadorian Red Cross. This initiative allowed us to start working on innovation in a systemic way into the Ecuadorian Red Cross. We have had some experiences related to innovation, but since CIFI was created and implemented, we started working more like a system. And this situation allowed us to be able to convince our authorities to introduce social innovation into the new strategy of our national society, which was one of the biggest achievements so far. And after winning the one, and after CIFI was one of the winners of the Global Innovation Challenge in 2019, we started the implementation of CIFI in March this last year. So basically, we have been working in a pandemic scenario. So the first challenge we had to try to overcome was adapt this project into a virtual environment. So in this situation allowed us to potentiate the initiative, making that it grow and establish itself faster, not only at a national level, but also internationally. Uh, CIFI, as you can see in the screen, CIFI is a system that seeks to generate greater spaces for participation and experimentation. So our volunteers, especially young people, can materialize their ideas based on their own passion. So we don't say them what to work in, but we want to they become the very center of the process, and they tell us what would they like to work. Um, and in this way, we could manage to address the global challenges, the humanitarian challenges, with projects with low cost, high impact, easily replicable, and scalable. So that's another amazing thing about this process. This system is made up with 6 elements that can work individually, but when we put it together, we can uh, make the results go bigger. So we have Bootcrate, which is a bootcamp and hackathon spaces for ideation of innovative projects. Juventia is the Academy for Training Mentors in Social Innovation. Atlas is a virtual think tank. We have Meraki, which will be the network of co-workings of the Ecuadorian Red Cross. And also in this topic, we have Meraki A+D, which we are going to launch in the next weeks, which basically is a mobile app application to help change makers, change agents, to create innovation projects with the support of other mentors, all from their cell phone. HIT, which is the platforms for talks where volunteers inspire others with their experiences and stories. And Catharsis, which is the communication platform for the dissemination of knowledge and community successful stories. Pau, can you help us changing the... So, thanks to this system and the reverse innovation process, in just 1.5 years, we have been able to place volunteers in the center of the process, as I said, but also we have gotten some exciting results. I'm sharing with you in the screen some of the results of Bootcre. We have had 150 volunteers participating in these spaces, and we have generated 37 initiatives. And from these spaces, we have we have 2 winners of the innovation challenges of the IFRC. Please, can you change the... So, in addition, the development of each of these elements has allowed us to generate networks of allies and cooperation with many other institutions, such as the Salesian Politécnica, with whom we are sharing this event right now, and has also allowed us to have experts in different topics, from mental health to technology, and this has made that our volunteers have very diverse support when they are creating their own projects. That's a very fast explanation of the system inside the Ecuadorian Red Cross.
Well, to continue explaining a little bit more about Universidad Politécnica Salesiana Entrepreneur ecosystem, I would like just to mention that the Spanish acronym for our university is UPS. So the next time you hear UPS, it's referring to our university. So since 2015, UPS has been promoting an entrepreneurship and innovation culture through the development of different initiatives that are aligned with its strategic vision. We have 4 co-working spaces in the 3 campuses of Cuenca, Guayaquil, and Quito, which also are the main cities in Ecuador, as well as 3 Starlabs spaces to develop and create products through prototyping and digital fabrication. As shown in the screen, you can see the Salesian Entrepreneurship Roadmap. That is like a summary of all the events, all the bootcamps, and all the training spaces we have at our university. And the main thing here is that the person, the human being and their life project represents the central action in these environments, where people, the aim of these environments are that people can enhance their capabilities in creative spaces. Those spaces also motivate them to be resilient in this changing world, being capable of facing any situation. So here we have at the left side of the screen, we have the first mini bootcamps. Those are like local events organized by local community in each campus. The local community is conformed by students, professors, allies, and also students from other universities, because for us it's really important that our students connect with other people, make networking and things like that, in order to have like a feedback and a broader vision of the spaces and the objectives we have. The next one is called Recreate. It's a bootcamp to introduce participants to ideation processes, agile methodologies in order to solve problems, real problems that we face all the time, or discover opportunities also. The co-living is a space to rediscover and reconnect with yourself through a Salesian perspective. Also, it has like the main focus or center in the person. Then we have the Reinventate, that was created in order to build communities that are empowered and committed to impact in a positive way their nearest environment. So in Reinventate, the main goal is that students have like this vision that it doesn't matter what we are doing or what kind of project we are in. we can always impact in a positive way the lives of others, being more conscious about environmental issues, economic issues, and generating opportunities to others also. And then we have the Retos, that is our incubation program at the university. This was at the beginning, this space only was a bootcamp in order to validate our projects and entrepreneurial ideas, but it evolutionated through to an incubation program. We also have hackathons because we consider that those environments also have helped students and people and participants in general, to connect with others and also solve real life problems in many different fields. Next slide, please. There's here some key data and information about what we have achieved in the past 6 years. So during these whole events and every activity that has been developed in these spaces, there has been around 13,610 students that has been or participated in different ways during the different spaces in this area of the university. We have also around 236 entrepreneurship projects, which has or has tried to solve many different problems, including the virtual spaces during the last year due to the pandemic we've been facing. We have developed or held 31 entrepreneurship bootcamps. And also one thing very important is that we had the active participation of 40 professors. Without them and their knowledge and their sharing with the students, we couldn't have reached all these data and statistics that you can see in the screen. And also we have 32 mentors that comes from our professors also, but from our allies like Ecuadorian Red Cross and other important organizations in this field of innovation and entrepreneurship. We have held 745 training activities in different fields. One important thing I forgot to mention is that the mini bootcamps not only focuses on entrepreneurship areas, it also has many other things that complement the acquisition of soft skills for our students. One of the projects that are very important for us is also the Change Agents training program. And we have had just 2 editions of them and the participation of 60 students from the 3 campuses. Also 2 hackathons with public organizations here in Ecuador, and also one with a private industry, and around 20 mini bootcamps of different areas.
Okay, so as you can see, there are a lot of common points between Salesian Polytechnic University and Ecuadorian Red Cross. They have more experience, of course, because they have been working on this more time. But we noticed that there are some spaces that we can share in a common way. So 2017 was the kickstart for us, and this year is important, and we are going to talk a little bit about it more in a few minutes. But all this started in 2017. The first event we shared together was an ideation bootcamp. That was the first experience with innovation, with social innovation inside the Ecuadorian Red Cross. This event was basically mainly organized or planned by the Salesian Polytechnic University, and we only put the resources to give our volunteers the possibility to experiment these spaces. Later, we tried to create our own space of talks. It was called Atajos, Pequeñas Acciones, Grandes Impactos, Small Actions, Big Impacts. It was a very exciting event. it was a successful event with a few people attending. So that was crazy, but it was really amazing to create that. Then we have a first aid course for the change agents that are in charge of the spaces that Paola mentioned a few minutes ago. Later in 2020, Paola was with us in a youth forum where we talked many different topics, but we try to focus especially in entrepreneurship, especially for young people. And in 2020, they were Salesian Polytechnic University help us with some mentors in the Hackathon Entrepreneurship edition. So these have been the events we have shared together in these like 2 or 3 years of cooperation. So we noticed that there are more things, more common things that we could done. So in order to do this, we decided to signed an agreement and start working on things like this. How can you change the great? Pao, you are muted.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So here we can see in this slide our cooperation evolution between our both organizations. And as you can see, it is not represented in a timeline. As shown in the screen, it is a gear assembly that together make the whole machinery move. So each gear is important to us because it has a positive impact, not only in the students or the participants that are part of these events and spaces, but also of their nearest communities, spaces, environments, neighborhoods, cities, etc. So right now, we are close to sign this agreement that Alejandro mentioned you a few minutes ago, which will set definitely a more solid basis for future initiatives that includes hackathons, training programs such as this Change Agents Academy that we want to move that forward and broader the objectives and the aim of this space, training space. We also have many research fields that are for both organizations interest. We can also have access to grant applications, exchange programs, and many other projects that are related to the development and growth of the people of both organizations. Because remember that UPS and Ecuadorian Red Cross, their main interest is the development of the person and their life project. So in general terms, we would like to explain the summary of what reverse innovation is and how it has impacted in our organizations. So in general terms, reverse innovation refers to a process where low-cost products are developed in poor or underdeveloped countries. And once those products are tested in those markets, they can be sold and distributed globally. Historically, this process used to be the opposite way. So reverse innovation nowadays represents a significant learning opportunity for all organizations. And we can find many examples, especially in the engineering field, for example, while trying to build low-cost technology that is demanded in underdeveloped countries. And here is how we explain reverse innovation within our organizations. First of all, individuals are part of an environment. In this environment, they can develop soft and technical skills. Then they start becoming changing agents who participate actively in many activities, and they seek to make the difference and work hard to impact the life of others in a really positive way. And once they leave this environment and are related to other people in the ecosystem, they try to replicate as many initiatives as possible so other people can be part of similar experiences, causing a multiplier effect. And finally, they contribute to the generation of alliances and making the net work together, bigger and broader. Next slide, please.
No, just a minute, Pao.
Oh, yes.
I wanted to say something that the main example of this reverse innovation process is that is what is happening between the Ecuadorian Red Cross and the Salesian Polytechnic University. Why? Because the idea of introducing innovation or social innovation inside the Ecuadorian Red Cross actually was born in an space of the Salesian University. As I said, 2017 was a magical year for us because I had the opportunity to participate in one of the spaces that Paola told you a few minutes ago. So in that moment, I realized that if we can uh, create or replicate some spaces like this inside the Ecuadorian Red Cross, uh, the results or the participation of our volunteers could go bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was almost the same for Paula, because in that moment Paula was a student of the Salesian University, and after that that boot camp, she created her own entrepreneurship, and after that she started to work in the Salesian University. And with Paula and we created this link at the beginning to start working. So as you can see, these kind of spaces applying the reverse innovation process made that the machinery, the big machinery, start working. So after that, we created spaces, then some other people joined us, then we had the opportunity to participate in the challenge of the International Federation, and it was uh, going bigger and bigger and bigger, and other people who participated in the spaces of the Salesian University and the Ecuadorian Red Cross, they are now creating other spaces with other people. So this is like um, a cyclic process that never ends, and as long as we can keep we can keep these spaces and create more spaces, more other change agents are going to be able to do the same. So I think that is the main example of reverse innovation, the case we are living right now between the Ecuadorian Red Cross and the Salesian University.
Thank you, Alejandro. So right now, just in order so you can be part of the processes or the environments we are mentioning in the slides before, we want to do a small workshop, a really small workshop, starting with the ideation process. So it's been right now more than 1 year that we've been through this worldwide pandemic of COVID-19, and we have faced a lot of problems. But for us, a problem actually represents a big opportunity to change something, to change everything that is bothering us or that we are not agreeing with. So in this process, we would like you to open your mind, to empty your brain of whatever you think that the situation or our new normality is, and fill it with new crazy creative ideas that might come up with a new solution for the thing we are living right now. So remember that we will not have good or bad ideas, just ideas trying to solve the problems as an effect of the COVID-19, okay? So it doesn't matter if at the beginning they do seem a bit crazy or not viable or just that is not gonna happen. Remember that while doing the brainstorming and sharing the ideas, we can come up with really cool, nice, and viable solutions that really might change or impact our communities. So right now, I would like you to take about a couple of minutes or 3 minutes. If you have your cell phone near, you can write it down in your cell phone, or if you have a paper and a pen, pues feel free to do it. I want you to start thinking what really bothers you about COVID, about the pandemic, about our new normal way of living. What really pisses you off and makes you uncomfortable, or what you really miss about how we were living 1 year and a half ago. So now think of that thing or that issue or that problem that is really bothering you, and how you can come up with a solution, and how that problem or that thing can actually become an opportunity. Because remember that most of the times, all the problems we have are actually opportunities. So let me put an example. One of the things it really bothers me the most is not being able to hug the people I love, or my friends, or the people I can be in touch with the social distancing and the masks and everything. So is there anything I could do, or a new strategy in order to show them I really care about them and want to hug them? So I leave you with that in mind. So think about also maybe gender, age, social, economic, and environmental situations. Pau, can you help us with the next slide, please? Okay, so sorry, I think we missed the order, but let me send you through the chat. Oh, thank you, you already did it. And I will start sharing my screen a little bit just to show you. In the link you have through the Facebook transmission, and also here in our Zoom meeting, it will lead you to this pinup, okay? So here I will encourage you to try to come up with an idea that is in the economic, social, or environmental field, okay? Here you have some post-its. Remember that the economic field is with this light yellow post-it, so you can write down your solution, as many as you want. And also the social area is with light blue, and the environmental with green. In case you start needing more, you just duplicate and create more post-its. So we will have a couple of minutes so you can start writing down your ideas and sharing with us. And then I will leave you with Alejandro again.
So I don't know if someone. Okay, Mirva is telling us in the chat that she can think of so many problems, but no solutions yet.
Mirva, can you tell us what problem or the first one that comes up to your mind?
Yes, sure. I think actually mine was, the first one that I had in mind was related to yours. So it's about keeping the distance from other people, and the way that we now kind of are afraid of others, that we think that they are something that we need to stay away from. Because actually I'm the kind of person who thinks that like being around other people and also like hugging and these kind of things are super important for human beings. And yeah, seeing the smile and facial expressions and all of these. And now we have the masks and we keep a distance. So yeah, it's a big one.
For example, I can share what we start doing at our house, like with our family. Even with the masks on and the protections like that you want because of social distances, we start hugging backwards, just not to face like each other, as a sign of love, you know. And also what we are trying to do in our department here at the university is to have like emojis like to show our reactions when someone's coming in and we feel like really happy to see that person from a long time ago, or if we want to send a hug or a good action that they do. So there are like small things, but what I want you to keep in mind, like with everyone, and thank you for your participation, Nirva, is that sometimes we are seeing the problem or the issue and not feeling hope that something can change, and that makes our mind have like a block, and with that block we can think or come up with ideas that might have or might make the difference. So that's why, what can I share with you?
Thank you. That was amazing. Even the idea of like kind of going back to back.
Yes.
That's great.
Funny, but it works. It actually works. We have also Laurent.
Hello,
Hernandez.
hola.
Hola.
My problem is the following. I'm a little bit of an organization freak, so I like to organize stuff and plan. And actually, I can't do that anymore, especially when it comes to when meeting people is involved or traveling. So I think the solution probably is to stop having this behavior, right? Work on oneself. But I'm wondering if there are like for organization freak, anonymous organization freak cells to discuss or something like that as a therapy or that's all. I mean, actually, it's not a joke. Eh?
No. Thank you, Lauren. Actually, you can find there an opportunity to do something maybe virtually in order to be more close or to have like group therapy. That's interesting. So remember, you can keep putting your ideas on our pinup. I can see many you are writing, and that's really exciting. At the end, we will come back to this to check what you have written or what you have proposed. And I will now give the word again to Alejandro. Thank you for the participations also.
Just, yeah, I was with the microphone muted. Okay, so what we basically wanted to do was trying to make you live some of the steps of the innovation process, or how we usually work this innovation process inside our organizations. We know that in order to generate an idea, we have to understand a lot of our problem. But one message that we would like to share with you is that you have to fall in love with the problem more than the solution. This was a phrase that I learned in the bootcamp in Salesian University, my first bootcamp in 2017. So we started with this ideation step in this part because of the time, and because it is just a demonstration. But basically, first you have to fall in love a lot with the problem, and never let it go until you have solved it, and try as many ideas as you can imagine in order to solve it. The next step after generating an idea basically is prototyping. We know that generate a new idea of solution sometimes can be a little bit expensive, or sometimes the idea maybe is just an idea created from the desk, or because we believe that the idea works. In this process, the prototyping step is important because we can make people feel and see and try the idea that we have generated, and receive some feedback from them. In this way, we can improve the idea before launching. So what we want you to do in this moment is just a little exercise. Maybe you have a basic idea of something related with the related to what you just wrote in the pinup screen. So we would like you to take a piece of paper and take a pen or I don't know, colors or a pencil, and just make a small picture, a small draw of what you think is the possible solution for social distancing. It doesn't really matter if it is just a few lines. It doesn't really matter. Prototypes or prototyping starts from zero to a very functional device, so people can try it. So we are going to give you like 3 or 4 minutes, so you can take this piece of paper and create or draw this picture of your idea. It's also important to mention that if you think that your idea cannot be prototyped, you have to know that there are many ways to make a prototype. It could be with a video, it could be with a picture, and as many possibilities as your imagination allows you. So you are going to have 3-4 minutes to take this piece of paper and make a draw with the idea you thought in a few minutes ago. So let's do this. And after that, I'm going to ask you to show us your small picture. And after that, we would like that 2 or 3 of you present us that that solution, that idea. So wait for it. If you have any question about this, please tell us, maybe in the chat, or you can open your microphone. So 3 more minutes, and I hope you can show us your draw, your picture of, or your prototype of your idea. As I said, it doesn't really matter if it is a very perfect draw or it's just a few lines. For example, I'm incredibly bad at drawing, but when I start prototyping, I can, in a certain way, show people what I try to do. So I hope we are doing great with those prototypes. We have 2 more minutes, and then we are going to ask you to turn on your cameras for a little bit so you can show us your pictures. Yeah, 2 more minutes. Okay, we have 1 more minute to do this little draw. So we are going to wait a few minutes, and after we are going to ask you to turn on your cameras. Of course, the people who wants to show their creation, and I'm going to ask Tati to make a print screen so we can preserve this memory for in the time. Okay. Okay, I think we are done. So I'm going to ask the people who make their draws and that would like to show us what they did to turn on their cameras and show us what they did. So someone is willing to do that? Someone made this draw. Mirva over here is showing us her picture. Great, Mirva. Thank you very much. It's amazing. It's amazing. That's the prototype that Mirva made. I don't know if someone else could make her prototype. Actually, you're a good drawer, Mirva.
Thank you, Henry. Thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing. You only had 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, maybe we can go to the next part. This is actually a very funny part. So, Paula, can you? Oh, we have another one. I can see it very well. Maybe it is. Okay. If you can put a little bit up your picture so we can see. Yeah, I can see it now. Great, amazing. Here only we also have Dorobin. Also is showing his or her picture. Great. You are an amazing prototyper. So you are going to be doing great when you create your own ideas. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go with the next part. Okay, now we want to ask you one thing. I hope that someone is willing to do this. This is the most challenging part, but we would like that maybe 1, 2, or 3 people can try to sell us the idea, but not in a formal way. For example, the first person who is willing to do this, we will ask that person to present in 1 minute that idea, but in a sad way. I mean, you will have to try to tell us that idea, maybe almost crying. So I don't know if we have a volunteer for doing this. We want that you to share us your idea in a very sad way, almost crying. I don't know if you are good actor or actresses, but maybe this is the time for trying. So somebody would like to try this little exercise to try to sell the idea in a sad way. Someone is willing to do this? Okay, I'm going to make a little example. I'm going to do this in a, I don't know, maybe in a angry way. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to sell you. What can I sell you? I'm going to sell you the cell phone. Okay, I don't know. I wasn't thinking in an idea related to the exercise, but I'm going to try to sell you this one. Hey, you need to buy me this cell phone. If you don't buy me the cell phone, you are not going to have a good moment. You are not going to have fun. You are not going to have the chance to communicate with people. Just buy me the phone right now. In a angry way. I don't know if it was okay. So someone is willing to do this?
So angry. I can try the sad one because
Okay.
This is really a sad thing. Like, honestly, I really want to go dancing. I love dancing, and now I can't go dancing. And my limbs are like, just, I don't feel my body anymore. I cannot. I'm just like a shell of a human being. Like, I really just need to go and let go and dance. And really, can somebody please arrange this kind of silent disco with these headphones on, and we could all feel together and dance and, forget about this COVID. Can we please do this, please?
In the same beat, everyone in the same beat.
In the same beat, yes.
Yeah.
So I think we
Everybody.
need this. Like, we all need to feel a little bit better. Like, I've been feeling so low. So please come with me and do this thing. It would be amazing.
Great, Mirva. It was sad for everyone. We all of us want to go dancing or go to the park or sing or whatever. We need it. Thank you, Mirva. That was amazing. So basically, this was a little exercise of how we work the innovation processes inside our spaces. As you can see, it's not a formal as a space. We believe that if we can give volunteers or young people try to keep their own ways of working or their own ways of organization, we can get better results. So thank you very much for participating in this little exercise, and maybe we can pass. Okay. Pao, you or I can make the summarize.
You can make the summary and I can complement.
Okay, so just for start finishing the session, we realized that reverse innovation is a formula. There are three main elements for making a great reverse innovation process. First, people. We have to give people the chance to participate and make them the very core of the whole process. That's important. The second thing is that environment, we have to create environments that enhance capabilities. I mean, spaces where they can learn, where can acquire skills, spaces where they can know more about themselves, because this is going to be like the seed they need to recreate the whole process. And the other important element is partnership. We as organizations or as individuals are good in something, are good doing something, but not doing everything. So we have to join with people who have similar goals than us, or with organizations or people that have those skills or knowledge that we don't have yet. So don't forget, people plus environment that enhance capabilities plus partnership equals to reverse innovation.
And just to complement a little bit, we will always have challenges around us, inside our organizations and obviously outside in our cities or the places where we develop. But what we can say from our experience is that the main challenge is to give the first step towards creating this environment that you can see in the screen. Once you do the first version of a bootcamp, of a training program, or any other initiative that comes up to your mind, including the silent disco, everything starts to have like an inner force that moves each gear, and the whole project finds its own way and new ways to keep functioning. And remember that the main thing also is that people has to be in the center, and people is the main and the most valuable resource that we have, and that makes the whole system move. So that is why this multiplier effect we talked to you about comes in addition, because the community, the people, is committed, inspired, and really wants to make a positive impact in their own lives and also in the life of others. And that's how reverse innovation has happened in our organizations.
Okay, so Paula, can you change the... So maybe before leaving, we would like to hear from you. What do you think about we have talked about? Your feedback is really important. So maybe if one or two people can open your microphone to tell us something, it would be great. But also we have shared with you in the chat a link to a form where you can give your feedback. And also one other thing that we ask you in this form is that if you, as we said, the partnerships are important, networks are important. So it would be awesome to know if any of you are interested in being part as a mentor in any of the events that we are going to create with the Salesian University so far. So Laurent, you can open your microphone.
Gracias. Hello. I think I loved your presentation, and I have to admit I have never heard about reverse innovation before. What I think is very good in the approach you took for this presentation, it's just, that's something you said actually, Henry, in another presentation that I attended, if I remember well, is that innovation is not only high tech, it's not only for the people that have had the opportunity to study, to do high studies, to acquire hard knowledge that is not accessible for everybody. It's actually more about process. It's about getting together. It's about sharing what the experiences to define common challenges that we want to solve. And it's about throwing crazy ideas. And I think it really comes very well out of your presentation. And I hope that the others that are attending are being as inspired as I've been. So thank you very much. Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laurent.
I don't know if is there someone else who would like to say something in the microphone. It would be really awesome to listen from you. What do you think about this? This is something that we would like to investigate more about it and to see how these processes can be applied in a wider way inside the humanitarian work. Erica from the American Red Cross, please, can you open your microphone? Thank you very much.
Hi, sorry. So I just wanted to second what the gentleman just before said, that it doesn't always have to be this huge technological advancement. And I think what I have noticed in your presentation made me think about is with COVID, a lot of the things that we kind of took for granted, right, we can no longer do it. And I think it's so important to kind of go back, to basics a lot of the time and remind people of those basics. My example, which I kind of felt silly putting, was, I have to block my calendar so people don't just book me back to back to back to back, because in this virtual world, it's just so easy for that to happen. But that took me till like last week to be like, oh, I better do that. But it's obvious, but it's not obvious anymore because we're in this new paradigm. So I love what you guys talked about. Happy to help in any way I can. I don't know how much I can contribute, but no, this was great. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Erica.
Yes, thank you, Erica.
Of course. So we hope you like this. We'll leave once again the link to the Google form, so you can give your feedback. Your feedback is very important for us, and also if you're interested in being part of the mentors of the processes that we are going to launch with the Salesian University, it would be awesome to know that. Okay, so maybe if you can contact us in any moment, you have here the people who is involved in this process, Tati Campoverde, which is hide over there, and I from the Ecuadorian Red Cross, and Paola and Paula from the Salesian University. And also, if you want to contact us or to know a little bit more about what we are doing, you can follow us on Facebook, you can follow us on Instagram, you can send us an email, or maybe visit our web page. So, Paola, I don't know if you want to say something before we leave.
No, thank you very much. We will also be sharing through the email that you send us the pinup so you can check all the initiatives, all the ideas that you come up with. And thank you very much for your assistance, for hearing us, for commenting and being so actively participating. It's really also important to us because it's the feedback makes this grow even bigger. So thank you very much to all of us, to all of you.
Great. So thank you, thank you everyone. Thank you for being here. And I really want to thank you to the Salesian University for work with us. It is an important partner, and that has to be said. So thank you very much. I hope to see you guys once again very soon. And don't forget, we can make innovation everywhere. Even if we have or no resources, innovation is all around. So have a nice night, afternoon, day, evening, and see you in other moment. Bye.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Really appreciate it. Bye bye.
Nice to meet you.
Bye all.
Bye.